tell me about what made you decide on embarking on executive and business coaching. I know obviously that you kind of did IT consulting and
Mhm.
you have many skills before that, but what made you think specifically about going into coaching and what does that entail?
I worked in IT for over 20 years now. And as I progressed throughout my career, I ended up working on a lot of transformation projects, and that involved working with leadership teams a lot and um, senior managers. And when I was applying the tools I had that were coming purely from the IT side and the consulting side, I started noticing that there was something missing. I didn't have anything that could allow me to create a deeper connection and to really work with these senior managers. And it's quite lonely up there in
Of
organization. They are
course,
quite
especially
lonely.
because in a way you're coming in as an outsider, being a consultant. You're not necessarily in-house in the system, and you're coming in maybe to make change, and people are maybe resistant to change.
They are, yes. Um, I saw, I noticed that a lot of those managers didn't necessarily have anybody to talk to.
Mm,
And very often, because of the pressure that they had to make decisions, the mind was trapped into a certain way of doing things. And I had no way to actually talk with them, talk this out, and make them aware of the thinking process and help this way to unblock things and to get on with whatever goals they had in a career. So that was one of the reasons why I decided to then go and
so
become a coach.
I have a question. What makes a good manager? And do you think anybody can be a manager, or do you think some people are more cut out for it than other people, and some people could never really have management skills? Or can anybody be taught, how to manage people?
Some people are not interested in being managers. It's different from the question whether they can be managers or not. I think everyone can. People say that leadership skills are the most important in management. I think leadership skills are everywhere at every single level of the company, starting with the individual and how you manage your life and yourself. But yes, I
And
think
what makes a good leader?
the ability to adapt the leadership style depending on the situation, to motivate people, to support them, to sometimes take control a little bit more when you feel there is a need for it. This ability to be flexible and to really connect and appreciate what the people in your teams are doing makes a really good manager.
And I think also they talk a lot about problem solving and how to, and I'm always thinking like, as managing, a small team, I'm always thinking, give me your problems and I'm going to solve them. I'm just thinking, throw me the problems and, I'm here to find a solution and, move forward. So I think you've got to enjoy kind of solving the problems.
It's true, it's part of it, but most of the time, managers don't know everything. And it is about knowing who is an expert in your team and surrounding yourself with people who know better than you do in the different areas
Yes.
that are involved in your organization, and knowing who to go and speak to, and then trust them and trust their guidance that's going to support the manager's decision making.
Yeah, and I think I also heard once this expression that, in a way, your team doesn't just work for you; you also work for your team because your ability to kind of inspire them is very important in how they can then perform, moving forward. So, I think that it's not just about. There are different styles of management, but I'm much more like a collaborative team approach than definitely not dictatorial
Yes.
management.
You usually see it reflecting in the performance of those teams. Leaders who are very authoritative, people just do things because they have to do it, and they tend to do the minimal. that they can. And in collaborative team, there is this willingness to try and find your place and to create a dynamic with everyone. And these teams tend to perform a lot better.